Warwick. They had this small sliding show, and they showed half the face of Warwick, and then him fighting and shit like that. And then like 15 seconds later, it shows the other half, the half that would reflect it, Vander's, and him fighting in the anime.
I saw something online that was kind of cool about the Arcane. So one of the people I like watching online is the Nostalgia Critic.
Yeah.
I just enjoy him. I don't always agree with his opinions, but I enjoy him.
Yeah.
He released a little article, a blurb thing that I don't know if he's planning on doing a review on it or not, but he was like, he was released it praising Arcane. He's like, not since Avatar: The Last Airbender or Batman the Animated Series has there been this good an animated series to come out. I'm like, damn, that is high praise. Those are the two seminal animated shows to come out like ever.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily disagree with them. I'm just like, I was damn.
Yeah. I don't know what happened with Arcane. They literally nailed it out of the fucking park, man. It's like, wow.
Yeah, that they did.
It was crazy good.
Well, I think they have they had a benefit that they took full advantage of. They had a target where to go.
Yeah.
So you knew what these characters were like because you saw their end step, like what they're like in the game.
Yeah.
You just had to devise a story of how they got there.
Yeah.
Now, some of them had, clips here or there that you could fill in, but others you had to work to get there. Were more blank slates than others. So you actually had the benefit of knowing what they could do, how they fought. And you just had to tell the story of how they became that way.
Oh yeah, no. It definitely tripped me out because when the first episode started and they're all kids and shit, I was like, oh, okay. Because I saw the previews of them as adults, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna get to see Jinx and Vi, and some of these other characters I don't know at the time, Vander, because I didn't recognize him as a League of Legends character.
There's only two that I ever played in the batch that were Arcane. I played with Victor a little bit.
Yeah,
a little bit. He was near the end of my tenure of playing League of Legends that he came out. And I enjoyed him somewhat. I was always a ranged mage character, or the other one was Caitlyn. Those are the two that I used.
I like what they did with Caitlyn.
Though, if they really want to earn my forever stamp of approval, they just need to put Vigor in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Vigor, the tiny sorcerer of evil. He's just awesome, and he was my favorite League of Legends character. No one used him ever besides me, but I enjoyed the ever-loving hell out of him.
Right.
The fact that he had no endpoint on how strong he could become was the reason I always used him. Because you could always increase his intelligence. Or magic, whatever the stat progression was. I don't remember anymore. You just had to use his Q ability, and every time you killed something with his Q ability, you gained 1 point. And if you killed a champion, you gained 5 points. So you just farm the ever-loving hell out of minions until the point where you're one-shotting just champions left and right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, one last thing before we get in the game. I still read the Dragon Ball Super manga and keep up with that every once in a while. The new movie coming out, and I thought this was interesting because the anime should be coming out, they said, mid of next year. I don't know if anybody or any of you still watch it or not, but I found it amusing because Goku's not going to be in this movie. Well, he's going to be there, but he's not the main protagonist. He's off with Brawly training on Whis' planet. They show that in the newest trailer.
That was at the end of the Brawly movie. He was doing that.
End of the Brawly movie, Goku went back to him and was like, "We should train sometime or fight sometime."
And he made a deal with Brawly. It's like, I'll keep bringing you guys food and shit.
Yeah, that right there. But they didn't actually show him training. In this, they're actually on the bit that we do see of Goku. He is trying to teach Brawly how to not face smash. And actually,
Goku's gonna be should be so much stronger than Vegeta by the end of that.
Right.
Like Vegeta's gonna get held up so hardcore.
Don't know what's happening with Vegeta. I just the small snippet we have is where he's teaching or trying to teach Brawly actual martial arts, and he hits Brawly in the face, and he goes crashing into Beerus' planet, and then Brawly starts going rage mode because Goku's like, "Oh, I'm sorry," because he hit him harder than he meant to. And he goes flying into the planet, and Brawly starts going rage mode, and even Beerus, he has this like sweat drop going down his head, like classic anime, and his planet's just shaking as Brawly's powering up, and I was like, yeah, that's funny.
Goku's inevitably going to destroy Beerus' planet at some point because he already did it to King Kai. But
yeah, yeah. All right, so let's get the game, guys. Let's get the game. The only one I'm not seeing here is Rambo.
He might not be able to make it back.
Gotcha.
His
All
kid's
right.
being fussy, apparently.
Oh, poor things. Poor Rambo. All right, so where did we leave off? I was pretty drunk last week. I am not drunk this week. I have not touched any liquor at least for 4 days.
Where we left off.
I know Charlie has a week before he goes bye-bye with Chiron.
He has 3 days, actually.
3 days.
3 days. He has 3 days until he goes bye-bye with Chiron.
Because of what we did with the wolf werewolf progenitor that we have, we technically get off the island.
Yes, for who knows how long.
Yep.
But that gift is there for you. The storm has been parted. You can safely say it's not permanent, but you can't safely say for how long. Because with what you all allowed to happen, did push Okama to a new level of his being. So, let's see. What also happened? Talked about, the Lord of Nightmares, found out what Solon did not actually break the Lord of Nightmares and Twisted Fates, and it was literally an illusion to make Solon believe what he did succeeded. You got to talk to Drake for a little bit, him informing you he's going to be incredibly busy. I put the mechanics around how if you seek help from him, a flat check of DC 16 is needed to see if he's actually able to give any time beyond just simple conversing. For as dangerous and powerful as Drake is, and the first gen of heroes in this campaign that we've done, he is literally invading the abyss. So, let's see. You saved Nair.
Mm-hmm.
You learned that the Lord of Nightmares and Twisted Fates fulfilled a debt to Chiron. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If I'm forgetting anything, feel free to throw it in there.
No, I don't think so.
All right. So y'all are back at the temple. What do y'all do? And you did inform them you're leaving in 3 days, right, Charlie?
Yeah, I also told him during those 3 days I'll, given the opportunity, I will probably be visiting and returning some stuff.
Gotcha. Okay. You were going to say something, Josh?
Zolan and I got 2 days for that crafting project.
Okay. So you two are going to be busy doing that unless there's anything noteworthy y'all want to do. If not, then I will get to Charlie and what he wants to go off the island for.
I asked Solon before I go return this. Do you think that you'll need the book for anything else?
Which book?
All the books.
And I, at which book I pull out the book of Pale Stone that we.
Oh. I think we should be good.
Okay. I'll be back before I need to leave.
Okay. So you are heading out. Where's your first stop?
First stop is me and Nair to the main headquarters of the Palestone organization.
All right. So as you teleport into Palestone, which is a walled city-state, it is deathly quiet. Sun is high. You've spent many a years here training and honing your craft. The stalls should be filled with merchants selling their, newly created sword from a, slayed beast or, people going about their daily lives. Everything is utterly quiet.
And I see nothing through the spirit side or anything like that.
In your immediate vicinity, no.
Yeah, go try and. Not liking this, I'll. In a more hurried action, go towards.
The keep.
The
I know
keep, yeah.
I don't have the map finished, but when we go to the reboot, I do have a map I'm working on of the major cities and kingdoms and things like that.
Okay.
But yeah, so the power of Palestone, the figureheads, the leaders of this city state organization reside, within the keep itself. As you head towards the keep, you notice that the massive wooden double doors are ajar. There are no sentries stationed out. One of the knockers, if you will, are laying on the ground. You can see where it was on the door, where it's just completely splintered from where it was ripped off.
pulling out the scythe before I continue on, do I get any sign of possibly what it is? My immediate thought is Mother of Monsters would have been my immediate first guess.
As you fixate with the scythe, you don't sense anything. You don't sense what could have done this. There's no outward disturbances, no spiritual residue left behind.
Okay. I'll continue on to the keep. With no residue like that, I guess my next thought is thinking that it maybe the Lord of Nightmares and Twisted Fates, but that's that's my only other thought of possibly why. But I'll continue on to the keep.
Okay. As you go through, you can see various different furniture, paintings, decor, scattered about, some with what looks to be claw marks ripping through them, furniture destroyed, statues crumbled. You take about 20, 30 minutes of walking through. You see doors busted in. You have, once you kind of investigate that, you get to the end where there's a massive stairwell that goes up and then splits off to two sides to kind of round up the corner or up the tower part of the keep.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have stairs that lead down to the basement. On the left side, you have basically the clerical workers processing, requests and, payments and things like that. And then on the right, the chambers immediately to the right is a chapel to the many different gods of the world.
Given an attack were to happen on the keep and it was on the scale that it might be breached, what was the plan on people within the keep getting out?
There are magical portals located on the second and third level of this keep. One thing you do know, sorry, I'm just checking my notes so I can. One thing you do know, this place is heavily fortified with both magic and some of the best architectural design and, raw materials, the highest of quality building this.
Mm-hmm.
These walls have been sieged by many of, horrific monsters. As well as a few, war hordes of orcs and other things trying to just claim territory for themselves.
Yeah. Since I have Nair with me, let's go to make our way up to one of the portals. If anybody can tell me if a teleportation spell has been used, especially recently, it's going to be her.
You head to the second floor. There's your various different chambers, your libraries, your training grounds for the practitioners of magic. A few odds and ends, and you go into the reception chambers, if you will. This is, where the first series of portals is, and there's a total of 6 portals, or gateways, if you will. They are not active. The arches that hold them, keeping them active and whatnot, are crumbled. You can give me a Arcana check for Nair. Okay. As she sits there or stands there and studies them, her best estimate, and it's pretty spot on, they were last active within a day. And with that 34, she also notices massive claw marks within the stone flooring and walls.
Massive claw marks that either of us would recognize, as I've had her memories of when her people were attacked by the mother of monsters in her actual
Not
true form.
quite that large. Give me a raw intelligence. Look at you being all smart.
I know.
Damn.
Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't.
Holy shit. You sit there and you're recalling various events in both your all's memories, and you've only seen claw marks like that once before, and that is dealing with Ulrich.
Alright. If I'm remembering this correctly, Ulrich is in the progenitor of werewolves that we freed, right? Or no?
Correct.
Huh.
I have to
Dan,
step away for some time here. I'll be back. I have to make a couple phone calls.
No, I think he was about to ask you a question.
You go ahead.
if I remember your atlas correct, you can focus in on a point and see what happened during that time, during a specific time, correct?
Correct. It's super scrying. And I can
Yeah.
teleport there too, I think. If
Yeah.
memory serves.
I would have Nair go ahead and tell you what we've found, and that it's definitely been within the last day. Don't know exactly what happened.
I'll watch and I'll rewind, Derek.
Okay. I'll make this quick for you, and I can go over greater detail since you need to make a couple phone calls. When you fixate on this point, it takes a second for it to truly find point. You see a bustling, busy chamber, people coming and going. You see the guards, and then you just see people being slaughtered by Ulrich in his rage form, his werewolf form. You do see a glimpse of a half-naked, long, red-haired woman that you know as the Witch Queen, and behind her you see standing as cold as a statue the Blood Lord.
I'm going to do something real quick here, Derek, because I don't actually believe this is the case, because it would be stupid, and Ulrich isn't stupid. So I'm going to focus in, and I'm going to watch the Ulrich's hunt, because I know when he left with, what's her face?
Kara.
And I could just follow their hunt from there until an intersecting time or point in time.
Okay. As you follow their hunt, and you're used to it. The people you know, your family and whatnot, you're used to the brutality of things.
I've seen a dragon eat.
Yeah. I mean, they are hunting basically the cultists of the enemy and whatnot. And as time goes on to where it's lining up, you see both of them kind of go into a lifeless trance. As they basically fucking eat to their fill as if they were going to sleep. When they hit that moment, at least when Ulrich does, and Kara laying her head upon his chest, closing her eyes, there is a sense of lifelessness about them.
You came to ask me a stupid question.
I have a stupid question. Why is the sky blue?
Mm-hmm.
Because of reflecting light. But
I know.
Technically refracting light, especially reflecting off the surface of the oceans. But not the point. So
I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I keep watching until something happens.
When the daybreak comes, you see Ulrich wake, and then Kara begins to move. And they go about their normal hunt and, catching
so they
up.
froze still, but they didn't.
Yeah, they never moved. Yeah, they never left. But it was weird because, while you don't know if it's possible to actually kill Ulrich or not, being what he is and his regeneration and whatnot. He is a living thing. And while... Hold on 1 second. Go ahead and do your thing. My mom's calling me, so it's going to be a minute. Let's take a 5-10 minute break, guys, real quick.
All right.
I relayed this information to you, Charlie.
Okay.
About the seeing the massacre happen with all three of them, but also how Ulrich never left my gate. Like when I scried him, he never left my vision. So it wasn't his physical body, but for some reason, people really want us to think it was them. And since this is the Grand Architect or Sindric, the ultimate crafter who made this orb, I'm confident in its power level. It is Artifact Plus level power. So that when I was scrying on Ulrich himself. So I'm confident I had Ulrich as a target.
Yeah. I would also relay to you that I am distinguishedly not finding any signs of bloodship or struggle other than claw marks on the portal. And that is it. Other than furniture being thrown around and stuff, I'm not finding bodies or anything like that.
Well, if it was them, that would kind of make sense, because the Blood Lord would drain the blood and, literally absorb all the blood. Ulrich would eat the bodies.
Yeah, but I'm also not getting, if it had only been a day, me with sci-fi, I would at least have seen some type of, let's say, spiritual or soul, I don't want to say residue, but...
No, you wouldn't. Who's the only other person besides Drake that has soul magic?
The Witch Queen.
No. All three of them were there. They're the ultimate cleanup squad. I'm gonna make my phone calls now.
Yep.
I'll
Go
be
do it.
back.
Yep.
All right, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Thank you, good sir. Thank you. Yeah, I lied. I'm going to be one more second.
One.
Didn't really mean 1 sec. Ah, fuck my leg. Now I need another couple seconds. All right, I'm back. Sam's going to be joining us. She woke up. No, nobody's here. Fuck. I don't wanna. You can't make me.
You know what that just reminded me of?
What?
You remember Bruce Almighty?
Yes. Is anybody there? Anybody at all? Well, fuck you all.
Well, fuck you too. I was here. I just couldn't talk.
I
because
know
was on the
you
other phone.
weren't. I know that I wasn't talking to you.
That was my first phone call. Then I'm getting Christmas stuff organized and out of the way.
It's all good. It's all good.
Apparently, everybody knows today is my day off, and they decided to call me now as opposed to earlier today.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Go fucking figure. I still have one more phone call to do, but I figured I'd jump back in real quick to see if
They're still.
I didn't need to
anyway.
make it.
I didn't hear what I didn't hear what you were telling Charlie. What were y'all talking about?
One that the orb I'm using is a artifact plus because it was made by the Grand Architect or Cindric the Old, whatever you want to call him.
Yep.
So I trust in its potency. And the fact of the matter is, I was scrying on Ulrich himself. So when we saw him sleeping or in his comatose state, that was actually him.
Mm.
That was his actual body.
Yes.
Because that would have been that was my target on my scry. And because it didn't shift to a different location, I'm confident of that.
Yep.
I also told him that the three people that he saw, or that I saw destroying the Order of Palestone Citadel, is basically make for the perfect cleanup squad because Werewolf eats the body, Bloodlord absorbs all the blood, and the Witch Queen is the only other person that actually has soul magic. So you actually wouldn't see any traces at all, except for damage.
And that's how it would also explain how they get past all the magical defenses and shit too.
So I put that out there. Who would have the power to compel a literal god and a demigod, essentially?
The Fey Lord.
Maybe. But he is kind of, I mean, there's no underestimating literally how effectively Drake is targeting, like distracting him.
Yeah.
Right now. Like, Drake keeps disappearing and teleporting and stealthing behind and just ganking him. And then just fading into stealth again and disappearing.
My other thought is, do you think it's a move by War?
War wouldn't have the ability to control him.
Yeah.
Well, maybe 2 out of 3, but not an actual person with divine powers. Like, the Bloodlord is actually a lesser god now.
So
Yeah.
have I gotten enough exposure to soul magic that I would be able to sense if it was used?
Give me a perception check. You're fairly confident it was not. The Lord of Nightmares and Twisted Fates.
Sid, I'm quite confident that soul magic has not been used.
Correct.
I'll ask Solon to think on it and let me know if he comes up with anything else. I
have one idea.
would go ahead and let you know that I'm confident. I don't think soul magic was used.
Well, that would make sense. Because if, for instance, while the three targets slept, they were able to, the Lord of Nightmares was able to take their nightmare forms or take a projection of these three entities while they slept and project it into the real world. Feasibly, he could use those projections against a target of his choosing.
And target Palestone to keep him out of the other's way. I mean, Palestone would be mostly in the Mother of Monsters way.
Not once she's awakened.
Yeah.
Once she becomes a Daemon Lord, that's a whole different power level and game. Palestone must have something else that he needs or wants or needs suppressed. If I were you, I'd look to see where the other damage is. See if a vault's been plundered. Well, I just continue watching the projection, I guess, Derek.
Okay.
See what they were after.
They were trying to be after the book would be fucking hilarious.
I gotta see what she posted.
Hey, you know what's better than the $5,000 PC?
No, I don't want an ad. This is what I thought it was. This instantly came to mind. The dumbest thing ever that has managed to stay a thing.
That is pure gold.
It is gold, but it's still dumb. All right. As you watch, you see this just absolute ruination of the guards, and one thing you do notice is their attacks. While entities of this level probably would not be affected by them, even with some of their more powerful enchantments and whatnot. Like you said, the Blood Lord is basically a lesser god. You don't know how strong the Witch Queen is, and Ulrich is Rage Machine. Their attacks seem just as if they never happened to them. And you watch it go from room to room, and then it gets to the final the final chamber, if we will, the Grand Master of Palestone. This older, maybe half orc. You don't think he's a full orc, but he has thick gray beard, knotted gray hair, covered in scars, wizened look, while he wields a massive battle axe, two-handed axe. Sorry, great axe. That is every bit as imposing as World Carver. There is a sense of wisdom just looking upon him, and as these three figures descend towards the chamber doors, you see him raise his fist, clutch a medallion on his chest, and you see a handful of children behind him. As he clutches the medallions, the doors slam shut to his chamber, and just magical wards are affected around this chamber. you see that the Witch Queen, or at least the projection of the Witch Queen, if your theory is correct, tirelessly just, dismantles the magical protections. And then they simply fade.
They is in the 3 quote unquote projections we think they are.
Yeah. They simply fade.
I guess as they woke up.
And if you tell me that the last place that they were at was that main chambers, that's the immediate place I would go.
Okay. There, as you head to the Grand Master's chambers, you can see the just raw power of the magical barriers in place. They're actually visible. So much magic is using to protect this chamber.
And ironically, Sam, that is kind of what Drake is doing.
I remember watching that when it first came out, and I think a little while ago, probably a couple years ago, I think you posted the video, Dan. And yeah, that's
pretty
exactly what's going
on.
No, I wouldn't exactly classify my Eldritch Blast as a spoon attack, but
how it feels to him, that's probably the equivalent, though.
No, he's actually dying. It's just a matter of he's strong enough that he keeps coming back.
Fair.
So I'm doing hundreds, if not.
We didn't get much into it as far as the time in Palestone and stuff, but given this level, was there like a password to be said or something like that?
There are several passwords for different chambers. The only one that had the password to enter this chamber is the Grand Master himself and the High Priestess. While she does not belong to a specific deity or pantheon, she does have a level of blessings from them all, is because she is kind of the mediator for Palestone, because Palestone accepts all religions here.
Mm-hmm.
They do not care your alignment so long as you abide by the rules. So she has been seen giving sermons of Asmodeus, and then an hour later doing Palor.
Mm-hmm. Or the actual wards on the door itself, could I bang on the door?
You certainly could try.
I'll try just yelling first before I bang on the door. Just yelling, "This is Gavin Demore. I've returned from the Maelstrom."
Give me a diplomacy check. Or persuasion, I think it is now. Sorry, I read a lot of games that... 26. You hear in a very gruff voice that is muted by the door and the magic swirling around. This magic is so strong. Not only is it visible, the barrier, but it is of enough power that it is actually making, humming sounds from the sheer force of the protections. You hear in a gruff, muted voice, "Prove your worth." I'm trying to find his damn name. Excuse me. You do recognize the voice as the Grand Master. And he truly is a tough son of a bitch. You know, like in your childhood, when in your childhood, and you're like, well, hell, we're adults and we're nerdy as hell, so we still have it. But we're like, oh, I want to see this hero fight this hero, kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
Like when you were growing up, and you got to the age you came to the Order of Palestine, you're like, I want to see the Grandmaster fight Archaon, kind of thing,
Yeah.
Did you say Hulk versus Sailor Moon?
I said Goku versus.
Goku wins that, of course.
Goku versus who?
Sailor Moon.
Goku tears her in half.
There's a battle online saying this.
Well, they're fucking idiots. Are we talking like Dragon Ball Goku? Because if we're talking Dragon Ball Goku when he's a little kid and he likes to pee on things, sure. If we're talking about Goku that ate a melon by Brawly, no, she's going to get ripped in half.
Chibi Goku, okay. Full-grown Goku, not a chance in hell.
Maybe even Raditz Goku, when Goku was measured in Raditz level.
No, he could still move faster than Sight at that point.
Yeah, no.
It's a meme. Move on.
No,
you brought this up in front of Nerd. You know this was going to be the reaction. There is no forgiveness and there is no escape from this. This is all your fault, Sam.
Mistakes were made.
This is like me going into like a Star Trek convention and saying, hey, Star Wars is better.
And while
wars have been fought over less.
Zanuck, I do like a sigh of relief hearing his voice, but I do chuckle and apologize for my horrible timing.
His name is Dragoth. Yes, for some reason this campaign I had a lot of goths in my name, so Dragoth.
Yeah. I also tell him that I apologize, but I was the one that was in possession of the book. I initially came here to return it, and then I saw what had happened.
Give me another diplomacy check.
I mean, no one other than me and a select few are gonna know about the book being gone. I would assume.
You expect me to believe it is ye when I saw our three mortal enemies raid our keep.
Yes.
I could promise you that if it was actually our three mortal enemies, they would have finished the job and not have disappeared in the middle of dispelling your wards.
Give me another diplomacy, good sir. Sound reasoning. Elda, you can allow him in. If there's any funny business, erupt the barriers. And you see a small portion just open, just barely large enough for you to go through. What do you do?
Grab my ear's hand and walk me and her through.
As you go through, you see like a couple of strands of your hair, move, and it hits the barrier that's just wide enough over and just gone.
Mm-hmm.
You step through and the doors open. You see um, Dragoth standing. He seems a little winded. Um, Again, clutching his amulet. And you see other uh, objects of power. You see the priestess, who is elven, tanner skin, um, a mix of golden, blonde, and black hair. It's a little different. Um, he stands around 6'8", 380 pounds of solid muscle. It's good to see a friendly face yet again.
I'm glad to see that you guys at least made it.
He looks around and his eyes fixate on Nair, and his brows, you know, go into a very concentrated, almost hostile look upon his face, as he does not know her.
She is a companion of mine, one that I've trusted for quite a long time now.
He nods and he
3
looks
months.
at. We're talking island time. 3 months in island time is like 12 years.
Yeah.
I know it's just funny to describe it to people. We've bonded with these people hardcore. We've known them for about 3 months.
Yeah. I had to change things around on the timetable too, since we abandoned the kingdom building shits, because this was supposed to span, maybe a decade in time, but gutting that made no sense to keep it on that time scale.
Mm-hmm.
So he looks at the priestess and she nods. To return the book, you say? I'm quite curious of how you managed to acquire it. But that is for another time. How does the rest of Palestone look?
Like a ghost town. If you want,
Multiple meanings there. Might want to be more specific.
if you want the absolute truth right now, you're the only living people I've run into so far.
He just shakes his head. They were like damn phantoms, but our spirit banes and techniques did nothing to them. I have studied long on these three for the day that they raise once again to plague our world. But that was unlike anything I expected. And this, he points over to the far left corner, and you can see that there are spell wards, and there is this ancient box. It has where a lock and a keyhole would be is just a kind of reddish black, almost sapphire-like gem. And the box looks to be made out of very, very intricate, or the craftsmanship on it is very intricate, and it looks to be made out of wood that you've never seen before.
Okay.
You see that the gem itself is just pulsating. And it actually pulsates with such ferocity that it actually shakes within its ward.
I can't sense through the ward and what it's actually pulsing with.
You can give me a perception check.
We'll try.
No idea.
All right.
It started doing this when the three arrived. First, I heard the screams in my studies, and he motions for at his table. And that began to move. It is a relic that we have never been able to open or learn what lies within.
Zedek, I don't remember if it's been told to me or not. Saying the Archfey's name, does that give him power over the people that know it? So do I need to keep it vague and not mention his name, or do I not know?
You do not know, and you only know what he is known as. You don't know his actual name.
Yeah, attached. As far as the three phantoms, all I can tell you, we don't know for certain. I believe it's the work of an archfey known as the Lord of Nightmares and Twisted Fates. And I don't know
You
if
see
that
you see the priest's head perk, or enters perks at that name.
And I don't know if that means anything to do with that gem that you have. But that's who I think did this.
He nods.
And I'm here to tell you with all certain that those three would not attack Palestone.
How can you speak so surely of such matters? Are you friends with these monsters now? And he laughs sarcastically.
Well, this is going on, Derek.
Yep. I was about to get to y'all. Go ahead.
I contact the three individuals in question.
Okay. When you contact Ulrich, it's a little jarring. It's as if contacting a savage beast. And it's not much different for Kara. Wait, you said those three, so yeah, you want to be contacting Kara. The Witch Queen is very receptive of you contacting her. I would suspect you're contacting me due to a period of time that I have no memory of.
Yes. And I relay the information of what happened. What we were able to witness, and the fact that their bodies never left, and who we think is responsible, and why. Because they should have been alive when the Lord of Nightmares was active still.
Palestone is far beneath my notice.
I figured.
I will search more into this. And you feel magic beginning to, form within this connection.
I just realized what happened. So this is how this works. Lord of Twisted Nightmares casts a spell, takes their projections, is doing shit with them, and at one point in time, over the course of the spell, Drake appears and launches an attack. He has to make a concentration check to keep the spell going. And there's no way he's succeeding on a 60-plus concentration check. He fails, he loses the spell, the three of them disappear. I am pissing him off more than I could have possibly imagined.
You can kind of tell them what's going on in the background if you want, Dan.
So, Drake, as both a expression of displeasure, as well as a way to draw his gaze away from the group as a whole, has been periodically appearing and stealthing near the Lord of Nightmares and launching a full-on attack. And because of his new understanding of stealth, he never leaves stealth. And therefore the Lord of Nightmares can't see him. And then he simply waits a few moments. Lord of Nightmares waits for the Lord of Nightmares to get relaxed again, and then launches another attack.
How long? I don't have my notes open for that. How long did that go on for, or goes on for?
3 months.
No, it didn't go on for the full 3 months. Because there was
2
that
months.
there was that
and then-
interjection where he missed or he redirected your attacks.
Yeah, it was 2 months then. It was 2 or 3 months. So it must have been 2.
Yeah, I think it was like going on 2 months.
It was 2
No, it was
months.
shorter. It was shorter than that because it was because 3 months is the next major event. And y'all, how long do y'all have until that? Sorry, Josh, because you're the timekeeper. Is Josh?
I'm muting myself. Okay.
Yep. Hey, Josh.
Hi. I'm not asleep.
Uh huh. You're a
Um,
liar.
Actually, wasn't. Let's see.
I believe you.
Until the next key event says 3 months, 24 days.
3 months, 20 days. And that is taking into account all the time passing.
Yeah.
3
Yep.
months and 20.
So it was 2 months.
2 months.
And then it
okay.
was another month that I switched it up because all of a sudden he was able to redirect my
It
surprise
wasn't.
attack.
It wasn't 3 months because that was stopped before
I said
the
it was
next
2
major
months.
event. Right.
And then it
but
was
at-
another month that was I all of a sudden started stealing people from him.
I don't remember it being that long because after a while he had your attacks redirected to.
You're right. It was but it was he didn't start
Um,
redirecting until 2 months in.
And
At least
then
that's what you said.
the shadow images. I might have fucked up on the time because it would have stopped at least no less than a month before the next major event. And there is times where you can't be doing that as well because of your evasion of the abyss.
Correct.
But yes, because
He
I
doesn't know
remember.
that.
Hold on, let me. No, he doesn't know that yet. Anyways, unless somebody slips up, he won't know that. It was 3 weeks until it was 3. I'm looking at my notes. It was 3 weeks, and then he redirected the attack to your loved one, and then it was another 2 weeks. Or that's what I have written down. It was another 2 weeks of you stealing things that he had, and then after that 2 week period, he created the nightmare things that he was sending out. Because it was a month and a half, roughly, until the next major event happened.
Okay.
Sorry, I was just checking my notes. I might have said something different when we were doing our side stuff, but we both get really tired. I was just double checking my notes right here. So it went on for 3 weeks. That's where he became absolutely infatuated by you.
Yeah. Yeah, there's that downside that's coming about.
But yeah, so that's what's going on there.
This is what Drake meant by he's going to keep his drawing the enemy's gaze away from you guys as long as he can, but he's not sure how long he's going to be able to do it. So, any ideas you guys have? Take advantage of them while you can.
But what she is doing, going back to when you're conversing with her, there is a mass amount of magic that is gathered and then washes over you. I will see what you see, hear what you hear, and taste what you taste.
Who is this being targeted at?
Solon, by the Witch Queen.
Oh. So she wants to see what happened?
She is seeing what happened, and you don't know how long this is lasting. You know it's not necessarily detrimental towards you. Like, this isn't malicious towards you.
Yeah.
But she might see you go to the bathroom.
She might, in fact, see you go to the bathroom.
I'm sure she'll be impressed. But anyways. I show her the images, the replay.
Okay. You sense a feeling of anger and frustration. So this is how they want to play, so be it. And at that, the communication with her is cut.
Solon may have... So Solon contacts Gavin. I may, or may not, piss the three off by telling them what happened. Well, to be fair, two of them are always pissed.
But you pissed the
What
quiet
did the
one?
Bloodlord say when I relayed this information to him? I'm kind of curious.
There is, because of his time with Drake and a new position that he finds himself in, he's gone more of a noble route. You know, he's reined things in. He's being a prominent force. Yeah, a prominent force amongst things. This, however, he feels that real predator, that thing that Drake has only ever seen out of the current characters, because Drake went into his prison and freed him.
And Drake was also with him when he encountered the mother of monsters and drank her blood.
Yeah. So this is very much words weren't said. You explained what happened. Well, the initial words, you know, and then when you tell him, and it's just that very predator, very bloodlord of old feel that washes over you to the point and makes your spine shiver. The bloodlord that once caused the heavens themselves to rain blood on the whole of the world because of his slaughtering.
Yay, rage bonus to resisting mind effects.
Yes, yes. So Ulrich was, very straightforward. You talk to him, tell him what's up. Very much challenge has been laid. The gauntlet has been laid down. He's going to go punch something.
I'm going to deck you in the schnoz.
He's going to dick punch him. The episode, or the abridged Dragon Ball Z, where they're fighting Android, 13, and Goku gets punched in the dick, and Vegeta's like, ah!
Yo. No, that.
Oh.
Yeah.
And they show Goating's fade away. But yeah, so I mean that's very much Ulrich's kind of, gauntlet's been thrown. He's, while very powerful, very savage, he's very predictable in his unpredictability, if that makes sense.
We know his target, we just don't necessarily know what he's going to do about it.
Right. And the Witch Queen is definitely very calculating, and you have invoked the wrath of, not you yourself, but, have ignited that wrath and just bloodlust in the Bloodlord. So yeah, that's what transpires. None of them are too keen. Well, two of them specifically aren't too keen on being used as puppets in any fashion.
Fair enough.
All right. Going back to you, Charlie, so we can get this done and we can move on to those guys over there.
Okay.
Palestone is no longer secure, my boy. He nods to the high priestess. Take the children to the Order of Grimstad. She nods. You see him reach into one of his drawers and pulls out a kind of a component pouch that is inlaid with several different sigils and markings. Goes over to where this box is, says a few words in a tongue you don't understand, and then the magic shuts off, and just in a blink of an eye, this old half-orc is, has it in this bag and pulling the drawstring shut.
Okay.
Keep the book. And anything else that you may desire here. You and I, we have a beast to hunt. It's time to see if one of my pupils lives up to the Order of Pale Stones. And he pats you on the shoulder. You gained a companion.
Let him know that I have 3 days.
Well, shit.
Are you
He pats
kidding?
Nair on the shoulder.
Are you
You
kidding?
have.
Chiron is gonna love this. He's gonna let you go. Are you kidding? You think Chiron's gonna interrupt this particular hunt? This is a better trial for you than anything Chiron could come up with. Hunting the Lord of Nightmares?
Fuck. I mean, he's not wrong.
I wouldn't be surprised if Chiron doesn't appear to be beside you and join you on the particular hunt. Turn this, two birds, one stone moment.
I would say then before I would have said anything, I would have closed my eyes and try to talk to Chiron.
Okay.
After all, the Lord of Nightmares is coming after his title.
What do you say to him?
Tell him that I've been given a shot at the Lord of Nightmares, and I think it's something that I can't refuse.
He says nothing to us.
He didn't say no in his painful scar in my fucking forehead way. So you said Dagoth is his name?
Dragoth.
Dragoth.
In the reboot, orcs with the suffix goth on their name, Goth, of course. That is a orc or orc blooded that is in high reverence. Given that surname as, a chosen of Vorgoth, which in the reboot, Vorgoth is actually the orc deity.
Mm-hmm. When they're going to the Order of Grimstad, is that in Draconia or no?
Yes, the Order of Grimstad was moved to Draconia.
I nod over to Nair, and she opens a direct portal to Draconia.
Okay. All right. Anything else you want to handle?
No, I'll let Solon know that I'm going on a hunt with the master of the Order of Palestone, Dragoth.
Fair enough.
All right. So, anything else? We'll handle that on side stuff because that is a whole ballpark, and I want to get these guys in here because we've focused an hour and a half on you. Well,
Yep.
like an
Really?
hour because the AFK in us. He does say, now what does every great hunter do before going after their prey?
Learn and prepare.
And he bonks you on the head. Where is the alcohol, my dear friend?
I forgot you're a drinker.
This area is compromised. Do you have a place where we can prepare?
Draconia is going to be the safest place.
Then shouldn't we have taken that portal?
I'll
And he
make
bonks you on the head again.
and have her open up another.
Thank you. And he steps through. All right. So 2 days pass for you all. And it does not matter exactly when everything happens for you, Charlie, because you are going to go into the Feywild and time operates differently there. So I can literally tie you in to any point that these guys get into.
Yep.
See, if you didn't go to Palestone, you wouldn't have known what happened here. And if Drake wasn't doing his ambushes, whatever's in that box would have been taken. Yay! So, Josh and Dan, 2 days have passed. You finished the statue. You place it where it's going to be, and immediately the radiance of Io is felt, just pulsating throughout the temple. Its power even dwarfs the other three god statues here.
You do good work.
Yeah, do.
It is immaculate. The level of detail and just the imagery of Io is perfect. What do you two wish to do? And Araxis, since she's actually in call with us now, so. What
Hey,
would the
Raxus, commission's done.
It's perfect. I love it.
I shall name him Squishy.
No, his name is Io.
So, what do the three of you wish to do? You have an ample amount of time to do things. What would you all like to do? Anything noteworthy?
Okay. So, people, we have lists.
Yes, we do.
So, Josh, what is your first item on your list?
That's the debate. Technically, we have a very limited amount of time for this storm to be. Is the storm still gone? Is the question.
The storm is still dissipated at the moment.
I do have a couple things I'd like to do outside, and I would, I think, take precedent at the moment.
Okay, so you go and get those done. I have very limited that I want to get accomplished outside. I'd like to see my sister and all, but I'm going to prioritize getting stronger.
Okay.
So, I intend to begin awakening and reviving the rest of our targets, the animals
Okay.
and temples on the other islands.
Okay.
Because the more temples we unlock, the better. So
real quick.
I'm going to go to the air island next.
Okay. I will.
Well,
all right.
no, correction. I'm going to correct you there. I'm going to go to the fire island next because that doesn't have anybody currently that can get in my way.
Yeah,
Air island actually does have someone.
It is a barren wasteland on the Fire Islands. You retrieve you revive the animal lords there, and I'll get you a list of those buffs before, hopefully by the end of the night, and what statues, because nobody is there, and you have detailed reports from the people that you sent to the Fire Island. To do everything would probably take no more than. You got somebody that can teleport you around?
I have teleport.
Okay.
I can teleport through my orb.
Right. So, do you take anybody with you?
If anybody wants to come, they can. But if they have other stuff to do, by all means.
Josh is heading out to do his things. What are you doing, Arax? Is you going to join him or stay at the temple, or you have your own things you want to do?
That is a good question. I didn't think about it. Come back to me.
Fair enough. Let's say it takes you to hit each of the temples and revive the animal lords. You do have access to the towers on the island. Like you had the death and evocation one on this island.
Mm-hmm.
You have access to the other two that is on that island, if you give me a second. Abjuration. I gotta scroll down here real quick. Abjuration and Illusion.
Yes, I would conquer those two towers while I'm at it. And finish conquering the evocation tower.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to go through that or not, because I'm at this point. I have to look. a legendary in Arcana, and for nature, a legendary as well.
You'll at least have the base, and what we'll do, if you can get with me tomorrow or someday before the next week, we'll do the just series of rolls to see if you get the legendary version of the shards.
Okay.
It'll be you need 3 successes before 3 failures to achieve the legendary shard.
Okay.
Okay.
So my time is pretty much covered at this point.
Yeah. Fire Island.
For at least the next couple of weeks.
Being able to teleport around because you got detailed maps because of your Nullian forces you sent over there.
How many? This is actually easy to figure out. How many animals on the Fire Island?
You have 4.
Okay, so 4. That's a minimum of 4 days, and then
each temple will take about a day.
Each temple day there'll be
so
5, 6,
or 6.
Then, you're looking at how many gods on this island?
You have 3.
So each temple maybe takes half a day to do. At least that's what it's taken in the past.
Yeah. So you take about a week and a half.
So 7.5 days.
Yeah,
is what it comes out to.
All right. So, and I will have the list for you and all that. We're running out of time, so I want to get as much done. I pretty much just have to copy and paste things for you. And then again, if you want to make the rolls and just, screenshot them and send them to me and whatnot, that's fine. Or we can get together in case you want to do any side things. We can do that. Just hit me up before next session.
Okay.
What is next week? Next is the 15th.
The week after that, I will not be available.
The 22nd, you're not going to be available?
Nope.
Okay. Is anybody else not going to be available on the 22nd? Shut up. Yes, you will.
22nd I'll be available.
All right.
I believe I'm available.
If enough people show up, you mind if we game, Dan?
By all means.
All right. What about the 29th?
I should be available on the 29th.
Yeah, 29th should be fine.
Should be.
All right. So the 22nd, we will be missing at least Dan. Okay. I wanted to look at the dates and make sure Christmas didn't fall on any of them or New Year's Eve.
Christmas Day is on the Saturday this year.
Yep, I see that. All right. Shitty thing is, Sam has to work Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. She gets paid a lot of money for doing it, though. So, Josh, you're going out the island. Where are you going, good sir?
I have 2 locations I'd like to go to.
Okay.
One is home.
Okay.
And the second one is
very different than when you left it, where it was just this, carved out meteor and whatnot. The old civilization that laid beneath the sands waste has risen. There are buildings. It's a equivalent of a large city, almost bordering a metropolis. And you have the hollow rock at the center of it.
Before I would have gone, I would have checked in with Zivit and the rest of the goblins that are working on my vault.
They are hard at work. Zivit keeps saying things that, you're a legendary in crafting, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you can understand what he's saying, but also what he's saying is very confusing because he's dealing with things he's never dealt with before.
Zivit's the bard.
Oh, I was thinking of your brother. Sorry.
Lynx is my brother.
Blinks is your brother. That's right. Zivit is working on your.
Well, he was helping transport some materials there.
Gotcha. Then, yeah, I got the two names mixed up there. He tells you that, the materials are being moved rapidly. Work is being done in great haste. Your brother is cursing far more than he normally does, as this is a little beyond the norm of what he's ever worked with.
I feel like I should ask the question, but I feel like I'd get a million answers.
Yeah.
Of yes, they want to go with.
Do you ask?
I would have to ask if they wanted to go home for a bit.
Your brother declined.
Oh, I kind of figured that much. He's fascinated by this shit.
Yes, and Zivit is actually going to decline. The goblins that have been helping out, they want to go home. The ones you rescued, they have not seen their family in some time. And the ones that weren't part of your tribe, they want off the island. You have the three named ones that want to go but will return.
Three named ones. There's my notes. I know I got Eve. I don't know I'm guessing she'd want to go.
Eve actually does not go.
Well,
She's still very guilt-ridden of many things that have transpired on this island, and she's not ready to face her people. It weighs heavy on her that she was used as a puppet, and Solin's dagger almost ended up in the enemy's hands. And the other things that transpired. And the things that she was forced to do because of the various different things that the champion, forced upon her.
and
What is this? Solin's dagger almost ended up in an enemy's
I
hands.
didn't mean to do that. What was going on? That was my bad.
It's all good. Reminded me of the Brady Bunch there for a second.
Mm-hmm.
And Chucky would remind her that waiting can make it worse.
You can give me a diplomacy check.
Not the greatest, but here we go.
No, she's staying. The number you were looking for was 15.
So I have a +5 and I roll a 5. And we have several days. I'm taking the freaking whatchamacallit, which is probably going to roll an 11 total. Nope, 9. It went 1 down instead of 1 up.
She's staying. She's definitely staying.
Hey, that token. What did I say? 1 up or 1 down.
Every once in a great while would help you. It helps your friends more than it does you.
I know.
To be fair, that's more because we need it more often. So it's more the number of rolls we're doing that, than anything.
All right. So, with that, you take those that want to leave. You got the ones that are coming back. You got the ones that very politely, as a goblin can, like, can we stay? We don't want to come back. Hell, there's like a couple that even just run off as soon as they get there.
Well,
You got a
would
few
make sure
kissing the
it was-
sand. You got a few kissing the sand, like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever.
I would make sure who's all going. It wouldn't just like, yeah, you could come.
Yeah, I figured.
As they checked out, they'd come. I wouldn't hold them back unless I had a real suspicion that they were not quite ready or something was off on them.
I mean, other than the emotional trauma and a little bit of the physical trauma of being here and going through what they've gone through, there is no signs of being infected by any kind of magic or pestilence or anything like that.
All right, then that wouldn't restrict them.
All
I'm
right.
guessing with Zivit not coming, I'd have to rely on Simon's magic to get me there and back.
Yep.
Doctor, describe your average night. Me. They wear suits of armor. Doctor, no, I mean at bedtime. Me. They probably take it off.
Nice. All right. So you arrive at Hollow Rock. Like I said, it is far different than you remember. You arrive outside of Hollow Rock, and it is again borderline metropolis, size. As you look off to any direction, there's just buildings and this ancient architect. And you can see some of the buildings have been occupied by some of the residents of Hollow Rock. What do you do?
Is it just goblins here and hobgoblins, or is there actually more people here than just...
There has been a steady flow of individuals coming. A lot of orcs. You have hobgoblins. You have bugbears. You have some humans. And a few of the wayward elves. It's not like populated to the brim or anything like that. It's a very small percentage of buildings being habitated or that words. But people have definitely been coming here. You can hear the commotions of wagons and whatnot moving.
I would have, before I came, I would have let my sister know that I was on my way.
After a few moments of, taking in the sight of New Hollow Rock, you see your sister at one of the openings into what you've called home. She is smiling at you, and then breaking character of her new role, she runs down to you and gives you a hug. Tears in her eyes.
I give her a hug back, so I just do the pick-up bear hug
She squeals and kicks her feet.
and let her down.
How long are you going to be here? She's touching the side of your face, and she's just looking at you, seeing how you've changed, the new scars you've gotten, just overall how much stronger, you appear, not only in your physicality, but your mind. And
Oh, and Simon is out.
yeah.
I'm not prohibiting him from being out or in a sword form. It's up to his choice.
She looks curious at him. And then he speaks, and she kind of looks timid there for a second. So you're the smart one. How'd I end up with him? And he chuckles.
Could have been worse.
I don't know by how much more.
Have you met his brother?
Nah, he
Touche,
would've-
mysterious voice.
Out of game, he would have enjoyed my brother because my brother randomly makes things explode.
Yes, but he doesn't use any weapons.
He has a crossbow.
He doesn't use any weapons.
He uses bombs.
You use World Carver. This is a weapon spirit. The bigger the weapon, the bigger the house. Saying he uses a crossbow is kind of like saying, congratulations, you'll be able to eat dog food for the rest of your life. As opposed to the other guy who gets to eat filet mignon for the rest of his life.
I mean, technically, his weapon is 0, which is a, construct.
It's gone up just a little bit. As you follow her back into Hollow Rock, you notice something different. The layout is the same. People, you see some new faces and some old ones. But there is a deeper connection here to you. As almost it's malleable to your will.
So I'm feeling an energy about this place.
Yes.
Does it remind me like of the vault?
Yes.
Maybe I should have taken a day. Finish something else. I would ask her how it's going though, majority wise.
She let you know that ever since, the incidents that happened, there's more order here. She speaks of an entity she doesn't know a whole lot about, but a entity known as Okama, the Living God. And ever since that name has been, said, more and more people keep arriving here to Hollow Rock.
Right. Oh. So he's sending help.
Who is this Hokama, the Living God?
I would wait until we got somewhere a little bit more private than I would.
No,
tell
of
her.
course, yeah.
But he's a pretentious guy,
Living
but he's
God.
not bad.
He's got it in his name. He's
Hey,
the living
he's-
God.
He's a living god, but he's a vampire. Aren't vampires dead?
That's complicated.
I'm very confused, and he does seem like a pretentious asshole. But nice, apparently, as she looks around at all the changes and whatnot.
Yeah. But
A little bit.
yeah, it was kind of needed. This happened.
Well, what brings you here? Don't get me wrong, I am absolutely thrilled, and you have made me truly happy coming to Hollow Rock, but does anything particular bring you here?
Well, mainly it was I just wanted to see home again, see how things were progressing. Also, I have this book, very useful book, and I would open the book that actually has the blueprint. I'm guessing it would have the blueprint to Hollow Rock,
Yes.
and I'd flip to that page. This might help our architects make this work better.
And the section on Hollow Rock is extensive. And as you look at it, you see the words change to one you can read as fluently as you can common. She's absolutely fascinated by this and almost forget you're even there. So you cough and her attention is brought back to you and she apologizes. This will definitely help.
Unfortunately, I don't think I can leave the book here.
She gives you a very dirty look.
It's not technically fully mine. It is part of the group's. But you know, and I would give her a rundown of who I'm all with.
I got it. You dropped it mid-teleportation. Problem solved. As she goes and sits down on, one of the pillows and begins just reading over more. What do you do?
Also, Derek, out of game. I never actually really fleshed her out much. Is she actually that engineering base? I had her more of a seer, like a druid.
She is about learning. She is looking over it and reading. Knowledge is important to druids, seers, and things like this. This is a whole wealth of knowledge, and she is formulating on how she can use it to better her people. She wouldn't understand the intricacies of the inventions and things like that, but she could see their purpose. And that growing in her mind, how she could utilize various different things to, again, better your people.
Also, when I look at the blueprints with her for a bit. Does it look like there's like a central control area?
For a Hollow Rock, so when you're looking at Hollow Rock, the blueprint is malleable, and it's weird looking at it. And you get, again, that feeling that the Hollow Rock itself around you is malleable to your will.
It'd be a lot like the vault where I could change its shape if I wanted to.
Yes.
I'm not near, because I'm guessing her chambers would be in the Citadel.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing I'm nowhere near anything that would be mess aroundable, I couldn't go play with some Play-Doh.
Or can you?
Also, I'm guessing it wouldn't take long before it would be not just her and me talking, but suddenly how many siblings did I have? 5?
I believe so. The question is, are you talking in her chamber or just out in the commons of the Citadel? If you're talking in her chambers, the guards will not let anybody through until she says it's okay, because she's now the Grand Seer.
Grand Magistrate.
Yeah, there we go. Also, I'll be right back. I got to use the restroom real quick.
quiet. Too quiet.
You're quiet.
All right, I'm back. Sorry.
Welcome back.
All right. So, if you're speaking in her chambers, the guards would not let anybody in until she promotes it. So you all have alone time.
Even if it was her own parents.
Yes. Because she is the magistrate. And crazy ass shit that's been happening.
No.
But going back to something, you think about it and you're like, yeah, there isn't something I can play with Play-Doh. And as you're like waving your hand, you actually do see some of the earthwork just move.
The earth just move.
Yeah, kind of like a ripple with your hand, because you're thinking about, can I? Is there something around I can move? And it's not earth. It's whatever the materials that the meteors are made out of that you all hollowed out, or your ancestors hollowed out.
And I'm guessing she would have noticed too, maybe.
Give me a D20 plus 10. No, she's too engrossed in the book.
I'm guessing it was a DC 20.
Yep. So what do you do? Guys, let me put a breaker on this real quick. Let's each of us get together individually and handle any major side stuff you all want to do leading up to that 3 months. That way we don't spend session after session like this right here, because it's hard to split everything up when the party's completely split and doing their own things in what is essentially just downtime. And then when we get back together, we'll go around the table pretty much and just go over the downtime stuff that you all did. Because this is kind of the last session I want to do like this. Because theoretically, we have many more like this. And I want to make sure everybody gets to what they want to do so they can have fun, and then we can get back on track. And that's because,
I didn't mean to, take it slow like this.
Oh no! I spent a fucking long time with Charlie. I'm just saying, like that. It just came to my mind because I know there's a bunch of things that can transpire in 3 months for your all's character. I will note at certain points when the group needs to come back, and we'll handle that in the next session, or when this is taken care of, and then we'll handle those group events. Dan knows what they are because of something that transpired when he was ambushing the Lord of Nightmares and Twisted Fates. So, but go ahead. You notice that the earthwork shifts with your hand as you wave it about.
I would stop for a second, but where's the main construction going on?
In what regards?
Or to bring where the old structure is. Where's that going on right now?
Oh, the raised city, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Various different parts.
Is there any that it's really covered in this material?
Yeah, I would say.
I'm guessing a lot of that is still kind of damaged too.
Yeah.
But I'd be asking her this, not, you know.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
I would be like, should we go there? I want to try something.
Okay. You go there, and I'm assuming you're going to try to repair it?
Yep.
I'm
going to try.
What
Whether it
is either made from this or within a certain proximity of it? It allows you to do what you wish.
I would just rebuild the area that's there.
Okay. Yeah. And everybody's just looking at you slack-jawed. As to them, you are performing miracles.
Like, yeah, so it is a lot like this, that stuff. I would not elaborate at all.
Fair. But yes, you get, you spend a good part just messing with things and learning something new. There is a time where you and your family congress together and you eat and you tell tales. Old friends come and see you. Your relatives and the ones that are close to you are disheartened that, you're only here for so long before you have to return. And again, we can handle the minute when we get together. Is there anything else noteworthy you want to do?
Here?
Yeah.
Did we ever set how far the other village was?
No.
The one that actually attacked mine?
No, we never decided how far it was.
I was thinking it was within like 25 miles or something like that.
Most likely, yeah. Unless it's a grand war campaign, you're not going to travel more than 20, 30 miles.
And it was actually them with hired mercenaries. It wasn't the entire village attacking, as far as I'm aware.
Correct. All right. Anything else noteworthy you want to do, buddy?
He would go there, but we can handle that off. On that one.
Okay.
Off island, the only other thing I'd want to handle, other than being at home and spending a little time at home, and then figuring some shit out, is I wanted to go to Valeria to the main temple of Neshama.
Okay. There, you're greeted by a handful of people.
Sorry to interrupt, but I would invite my sister or anyone of immediate importance that wanted to come.
There is a warm sensation, warm presence when you come here. Again, you're greeted by a handful of people, and then a priestess of Elvish heritage descends the stairs and smiles and simply says, "Welcome, Corel."
There's no surprise look on Corel's face. It's just, of course. But
She smiles.
You have me at a disadvantage?
She looks at you, and when she speaks, it's almost as if she's singing, just this beautiful tone. I am Lyra. High Priestess of Neshama.
Yeah, I'm guessing you're the curator / leader of this temple.
She smiles. And you can say that. And she chuckles. There is a surge of people coming here, unlike past times. And I feel that it is you I must thank for this.
I may have had a hand in it, but it wasn't just me.
All great acts are a group effort, if you will.
Rather true, actually.
Each individual is indeed capable of greatness and leads others or innovates or makes new. But the truly great things come as a group. When everything comes together as a whole. Now that you are here, I would wish to speak with you in private.
He would just nod and gesture for her to lead the way.
She leads you into her small, humble chambers. And her just genuine, like, happiness and just calm demeanor kinds of fades. You, champion of our goddess. I do not know if you've begun to feel it, but her gaze becomes heavy, as if tired. And I feel a darkness creeping in, not from her, but something far more sinister.
How long have you been feeling this?
Last few days, week most.
Like, my guess is then it's probably a very annoying entity that's just, yeah. And he would explain. I mean, it's got to be the Fey Lord of Twisted Fates and Fortune. And he explained the.
You speak of a Fey Lord. This title I do not know.
I didn't get the title right, did I?
That was the Lord of Nightmares and Twisted Fates.
I keep getting it mixed up. But he would have said it.
She would still respond. This archfey you speak of, I do not know.
I don't know. Did I know that? Did anyone actually inform me that he was? Because this would have probably been a day after the Pale Stone thing. Would have been informed of that? Oh no, this would have been 3 days after the Pale Stone thing.
Yeah.
It's been 2 days.
I don't know. Would Saul and Dan, would you have told him?
Yeah. If intermittently, because I mean, I'd probably come back because we're basing most of our actions out of the temple, so I'd probably go to the temple to sleep, because that way make it harder for the Lord of Nightmares to get access to me. So if he was ever there at night, that would be a perfect opportunity for him to interact with me if he ends up interacting with me.
Well, we would be interacting for the entire 2 days that the Palestone thing was going on. Because we were constructing that statue.
Fair. Yeah, you know what's going on in Palestone.
And then I would be like, yeah, he's been messing around with a few things already.
Now, are you speaking of an archfey or one of the elders?
Isn't he one of the elders?
One of the eldest.
They're still classification of archfey, but the great archfays over on Titania, Mab and whatnot, they're considered the eldest.
Feylord. Okay, I'm going to say goodnight here, Derek. Josh is going to finish up his stuff. You guys continue on for as long as you guys feel you want to. Like you said, I'll get in contact with you sometime before next session, Derek.
Okay, yeah, and we'll go over all the try to put guys try to put an hour or two aside, and we'll just go over the 3 months that y'all have, and then again we'll reconvene, and we'll let people go around the table, and then the one note anyways. Well, there's 2 notes, one with Charlie and the Fey Realm and the things that happen that Dan knows about, and then we'll play those out. Well, the outcome of what Charlie does, and play out what Dan knows, and then any other key things that you all trigger, we'll do. But again, when we sit down, guys, try to put aside an hour or 2 so we can just get that done with. So next session we can pick up with the not a whole lot of downtime and try to role play through it.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. Later, buddy.
Later.
All right. Then she says that it is quite possible that this entity is able to influence Neshama. Though I've never heard of this Fey Lord. If it is a Fey Lord, they range in power from lesser deity to those that are on par with, Cord and whatnot. So
what I know of him is he was imprisoned until recently by Oberon a long time ago.
She nods at this, taking note of it. As her champion, I don't know if you can reach her to a greater extent than I or her other followers, but I felt that it was important. I know it was important, or is important, to tell you of this. For if this is a Lord of Nightmares, I fear what would transpire if she fell into slumber.
It is very troubling. Part of the reason I came here is, well, to understand a little bit more. And I have been dropped in the mail store for a while. And I was going to construct a temple for her there. Also, there is a temple, and I would explain the temple, the island that has all the temples and shit, or all the statues. And I would tell her I'm thinking of constructing something there as well. A statue for her there.
While she may not be one of the greater gods or divinities, she deserves a place there, for she has helped more than most realize.
Indeed.
All right. Anything else you wish to do here?
I would just ask if she knows of anything that would work sufficiently as a something I could use for the statue.
She thinks on that for a moment. She is a humble goddess. With you as her champion, and by the calluses on your hand that are not just from battle, something heart made by you would be sufficient.
Somewhat of an idea. I would just ask if she minds.
Sorry, I saw what Dan posted.
I would just ask her if I could spend some time looking around.
Of course. And there are some things that you'll find, but we'll do that on the side
Yeah,
stuff.
I kind of figured. That's why I just went
Yep.
that route.
Is there anything else important you want to cover? Because then I'm going to ask everybody else, and if not, we're going to call it early tonight. We had a late start, and yeah.
Outside of the thing, no, I don't. I mean, in 3 days, I have to be back because the vault's finished in 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
So, not gonna be able to spend much time unless the maelstrom is down after the vault's finished. But
Okay. Charlie and Sam, anything y'all want to accomplish or say before we call it this evening? You took Dragoth to Draconia, where y'all drink, feast, and prepare for hunt.
I would let him drink, and I would at least stop in surprisingly to my mom.
Okay. Sam, is there anything?
Anything I have can be handled outside the game.
Okay. All right, so you're gonna visit your mom. Do you visit your papa, your pappy, your daddy?
If he's there, I'll go see him.
Okay. Yep.
With Iono, I don't know if he's here or somewhere else.
Right now, your mother would even tell you this, that he is in Enol, waiting for the outcome of Archaon's ascension.
Yeah, it sounds like something he should probably be there for.
She does tell you that only one of the fallen remain, and that is Thrazin, the supreme lord of the fallen.
Alright. Fuck.
That was Archaon's patron before he became the Lord of the North, the Supreme Lord of the North, and, had all the blessings of each of the patrons.
Yeah.
You do get to see off in a distance, and your mother would inform you that Thrasidun's body is stationary, has not moved. As you notice that the second moon has been destroyed. Well, you knew about it, but it's no longer in the sky. You can actually, hey, that's no longer there. And if you investigate, the body is stationary.
Okay.
Which is this ever-churning ichor of blackness and just chaotic energy. There is no, solid humanoid form. Sometimes it takes that of, a blob. Other times when I say motionless, I mean it just doesn't move. Itself is always churning and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
The body itself. But yeah, so we can handle all that fun stuff when we do side things. I'll be free tomorrow night, either anytime after 5 to about your start time's 8:50, Sam.
Yeah.
So anytime after 5 to 7 or around 9:30 p.m. my time, if either one of you all want to get with me tomorrow.
I'll probably give you tomorrow after 9:30.
Okay. Then I'll put us out a couple hours before I got to get some sleep, and we can handle your side stuff. Josh, if you want to get with me before then, we can, or we can do it on another day.